event. Welcome everyone to today's event, Dialogue on Climate Change and Youth Actions, brought to you by SCOLAR Network. SCOLAR is a youth initiative uniting young people across 26 Shanghai Cooperation Organization countries, and we are headquartered in Beijing, and currently we have 10 hubs in 7 different countries, with 3 of the hubs based in Pakistan. Yeah, that's a lot. Climate change is one of the most complex issues that we are facing today, and it involves many different dimensions, including science, society, economics, politics, even like moral or ethics issues. And it's a global problem, and this problem will be around us for thousands of years ahead, probably. And today we've gathered together with several experts from SCO region in different fields related to climate change. These fields vary from disaster management, glaciology, very specific fields, to international cooperation in combating the climate change. Today we have different experts coming from different fields, from various fields. And we hope this dialogue is going to be very interactive, and you will not only learn some new insights on how to combat climate change, but also learn a lot, and meet new friends during the interactive part, which will be the first part of our event. Yeah. Shoaib, hi, can you please unmute yourself? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, and let's jump into an interactive part first, which will be in the form of mini climate hackathon. I hope it would be very, very interesting. So right now, all of you will be divided into several groups. And you will need to propose some solution to specific topic. So within your group, you need to discuss the solution and decide which of the solutions is the best. Yeah, and we will also assign one of our 3 experts today to each group to give some comments. Yeah, some comments. So let me send the question to the group. Yeah, and Shika will also help us today on the technical side. With group division. Girls, how was the discussion in other groups?
We were in room 3. It was quite good. Bilawal has shared a lot. We also had members sharing questions that we'll post to our experts in a bit. And Bilawal will also share from room 3 the results of our discussion.
So I was in room 2 with Rizu and Bota, Khadija, and Dr. Ali. So in this, I would like to give Bota floor to explain what we have talked about and what Rizu have given us more suggestion on it.
Will it be okay? I'm in subway. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you well. Thank you, Bota. Yeah, you're running between the events. Yeah.
So I think our discussion was also pretty good. We talked about SDGs goals. We have to know also the origins of floods and to prevent it in future. And personally believe that Riju also mentioned that Pakistan is not the biggest country for effect on global greenhouse that much, but Pakistan is the country who gets the effect the most. So I think we have to cooperate, several countries have to cooperate, to prevent the flood. The reason is climate change. So we have to know the origin, how personally we can affect on climate change, and be more sustainable and conscious, be more conscious about climate change also. And Reggie also mentioned one point that we have to see how other countries solving this problem so it can be implemented to Pakistan. And there should be more done so it can be not like so destructive in future. That was like main point.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bota. Yeah. Thank you so much. Though you are so busy, you still joined our event today. Yeah, and you want to discuss the solutions. Yeah, thank you so much. And Shika, we are moving to the next group, right?
Yes, you can move to group number 3. 3 is Vika, right?
Bilawal can share, yeah.
Hello everyone. I hope you are all doing well, and thank you, Vika, for giving me this opportunity. I think we discussed both short and long-term perspectives and approaches in order to cope with climate change. In short term, we discussed about the immediate solution in the form of helping all those affectees in the way that already things are helping around, like funding or something like this in the immediate solution. But more importantly, we ponder over long-term solution. I think in the long-term solution, we decided, I think we discussed more on the working on river flow, and along with it, we discussed on a separate specialized youth delegation who can collaborate on the climate issue and also work on proactive measure. So because climate change is a global issue, so the youth has to play its role. As Antonio Guterres once said, that we are the first generation who might face the challenges of climate change, and also we are the last generation who might be the only generation who can work on coping with the climate change. So after that, we also discussed in the long-term perspective about a separate courses and discipline in the youth education, because I learned about climate change in my graduation level. So I think it is very late for all of us to learn in this age about the climate change. Therefore, a separate curriculum should be prepared, especially in the young age, in the school age. In that regard, the specialized youth delegation, either in the form of World Youth Development Forum or something like that, we can invite representative from different countries who can work along with those delegation, so that solutions and recommendation could be provided to all those governments, so that they can work on the proactive measure that have been discussed or collaborated, and all those consensus-based solutions should be provided to all the governments, so that they can work in the long term on those solutions. Apart from it, that climate change should be apolitical. There should be no such thing politics, like we saw in the last 4 or 5 years from some government, I think, like one of the global leader from the West, who tried to politicize such things. So the youth should be apoliticized on the climate change. There should be really scientific evidence-based research on such areas. So after that, I think we also discussed in the interstate or inter-regional cooperation management system, like either we can have a management system among all the regional countries, or also we can have collaboration with other region like Europe and North and South America, so that we can raise awareness among all the youth, and we can learn from other youth delegation. As we saw last year in the Glasgow climate conference, where a youth delegation held a separate conference in which they invited different emerging youth and emerging minds, so to share their views about climate change. Now they are increasing their influence in other regions to raise and increase awareness regarding all the climate change and possible implication of it. So we can have such thing also. Apart from it, I think there should be, I think, last and the final thing is the will and commitment is required. Without it, nothing would be possible. I think this is all from me and from my team. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much for all your replies, yeah, and ideas. They are really, really great, yeah, especially about the interregional yeah, cooperation. Yeah, thank you so much, Bilawal. Yeah, and we are moving to the last group, right, Shikha?
Group, a representative
Yeah.
of this speaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Basically, what we concluded is all about the digitization and the apps. But before that, I would like to give a brief overview to the audience and also the experts. Actually, when we talk about the natural disasters, so these natural disasters include flash floods, earthquakes, landslides, etc. You know that for earthquakes, this is a very complex phenomena. I'm coming to the flash floods or the rain-driven floods by the monsoon. But first, I'll give you a slight overview that for earthquakes, this is very complex phenomena which can be done by constructing the earthquake-resistant structures. But when we talk about the flash floods and landslides, you know, first of all, the non-structural measures are very important which is the first step to be adopted in the prevention of flash floods or even debris flows and landslide disasters, which are usually caused by the heavy rainfall. If we see the China's national flash flood control planning, which they developed in 2006, I guess, yeah. So they got a very robust control on that. So that means non-structural measures such as vulnerability index or risk assessment, floodplain zoning, and land use planning and reinforcement are generally not featured in Pakistan's flood management practices. There might be some other countries, but especially talking about the Pakistan's flood management. So the non-structural measurements, these are not actually mentioned. So in that case, it is very important that we first sort out this problem of you know, the poor infrastructure. If we compare, you know, I'm basically from Nowshera, which was the most affected in the last couple of years, including this 2022 flood. If we compare the floods back in 1995 and in 2003, also 2007, 2010, 2022, with the population, we have found that it is evident that, you know, the losses from the floods increases as the population increases. You know, people are building houses on the river banks, building schools, hospitals, and institutes, which is actually because of the weak governance. So if the governance is strong, the infrastructure would be strong, and also those people who are living on the river banks, they should be, you know, alarmed not to build houses on the river banks to avoid, you know, such kind of mishaps. This is one thing. And apart from that, the most important thing which we talked in our group discussion is about the digital apps. Like, we need comprehensive water monitoring, like real-time data collection, and we should have some sensors on the tributaries of different streams to measure the flow at the single points and at different points as well. Like, complete data analytics we should have, and then we should have a centralized monitoring system. This is for water monitoring, and apart from that, we should have some digital records for the weather monitoring. I mean, like new climate models for the change prediction, and also the real time of rainfall and the information availability and accessibility to the public. So in this also have the digitization of rivers. You know, in Pakistan, river Indus is flowing throughout the country, and Kabul River that is flowing from the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and that joins the Indus River then. So these two are the main rivers which are causing the destruction, but they are also local tributaries. So we need to digitize all these waterways. We need to treat all these waterways as digital assets, like digital maps, like we should have a centralized monitoring system for that. And then we should have a comprehensive management system. Like I talked about the water monitoring, the weather monitoring, and the digitization of rivers. All these should be then combined into a comprehensive management system, which would ultimately provide information about real-time data, prediction of weather conditions, and monitoring of existing water flows, that how much the level is going to be right. This is, I'm talking about the rivers, and prediction of flood possibilities using this information. This is one part of our discussion. And similarly, we have some websites. So one of my colleagues also shared that these kind of websites provide information about the sea level fluctuations. Like if we see in the Arabian Sea or Indian Oceans that sea level fluctuations, which could be linked with the app which we are talking about. I mean, this entire digital data set which we should have. This should be linked with that website, and all these two should be integrated to compare the information on the local scale as well as on the regional scale. And this should not only be like for a specific country, like only for Pakistan, but should be for the entire world, especially those which are facing these natural catastrophes. So in my opinion, all these data set when come into one centralized system where we have access to the digital data, and also we should have access to various information, like some scholars who could put their lectures, some experts in the climate, even from the policy making side, they should put their lectures on that and educate everyone. Like it's not only about the scientists or sorry, it's not only about the scientists, or it's not only about those who are concerned with the climate, but to the public, to the entire world. These lectures should be very well explanatory so that everyone can get information on the climate science and awareness. And apart from that, yes, donation. We talked about the donation as well. On this app, we should have the information. Like, for example, this Pakistan flood, this occurred. We have the real time forecasting. We spread all the information time to time, like in 24-hour based or 48-hour based, that how many people are being impacted by this flood, and how much land is being occupied. So different agencies, different donors will be active to call the donations. So in this case, we can get a robust control in two aspects. One is to financially support those affectees, and the second is to have a scientific approach to get a robust control. And that data set will be very helpful in the long-term goals, just like one of my friend here talked about the long-term and short-term goals. So obtaining that long-term and short-term goals will also be possible with this digital world. This is what we actually concluded in our discussion.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Majid. Yeah, thank you so much for your valuable feedback. And all the discussions within the groups. Yeah, and I think we already moved to the panel discussion with our experts. And let me get
We'll broadcast it for sure and invite all of you. But if you're here, then you can come in person, and we'd like to invite all of you. And we hope that all of you can make a short video, post it on your social media. When you do that, please tag us as well, and would like to repost. We'll send
and our social media are in the chat. Yeah, and we will also share it in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Alicia, for hosting and Chicago.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much.
And
thank you so much, and let's keep in touch. Yeah, and have a good celebration, Riju. Thank you. Yeah, see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.